Hello there, I'm Koosh, and it's time for the Operation Boss tier list. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I finally got around to it. What took the longest was getting the pictures for every raid boss and then titling them. But we got there. For my tier list, I have 6 tiers. We have S tier, the fucking best. We have A tier, I like it a lot. B tier, fun. C tier, meh. D tier, E tier, the fucking worst. Get me out of here. C tier is where a lot of stuff is gonna live. When I think C tier, I think don't love it, don't hate it, meh. I'm gonna be ranking these from the perspective of their hardest difficulty. So the bosses that only go to hard mode, I'm gonna be judging them by hard mode. The bosses that have a nightmare tier, that's what I'm going to be looking at for those. So I guess my main criteria is going to be difficulty and enjoyment. Also, if you're expecting a 45-minute tier list video of me going into agonizing detail about every boss, I'm sorry, but this is not going to be that video. I'm going to be just here, done, easy peasy. Getting started in the Eternity Vault hard mode. The Annihilator Droid. Garge. The puzzle thing. Infernal Council. Soa. Meh. It is a little boring, I'll say, but just because of that first time going through it and just being like, wow, I'm gonna rank it higher than the other ones. Now going into Karaga's Palace hard mode. Bone Thrasher. Jargon Sorno, I'm gonna put meh, because their voice lines are incredible. I love their dialogue and their bickering back and forth. It makes the fight fun, and if you are like a Jug or a Cleave spec, it is really fun just slamming away. So we're gonna put that one in meh. Foreman Crusher. G4B3 Heavy Fabricator. Meh. I'm going to put it in meh because that fight can be a little challenging. And if you do have a good puzzler or puzzlers, you can do a lot of damage. But that one to me is the pug breaker. So that fight can be a little annoying depending on the group, but I think it's safe to put it in meh. Karaga, I'm also going to put in meh because when I'm jug tanking that fight, I enjoy it. I can reflect. It's a lot of fun to do that. I love reflecting. I wouldn't say it's like super fun because if I'm on any other class, it's like, oh, I'm just doing this boss just to do it. Now getting into our first Nim raid, Explosive Conflict. Zorn and Toth. I think it's fun. Pretty straightforward fight, but I enjoy it. Firebrand and Stormcaller. Same thing. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. If I'm jug tanking and get to reflect, oh my god, I am in heaven! I'm going to put that one in fun. Minefield. Warlord Kafis. I think the first time we fight Kafis, I'm going to put that in A tier. I like it a lot. I think it's a fun fight. It's not like 15 minutes, 20 minutes like fucking Styrac. The fight is broken up enough, different phases. I enjoy it. All right, heading into Nightmare, Terror from Beyond. Writhing Horror. Dreadguards. I think Dreadguards is a fun fight. I enjoy tanking it. I enjoy DPSing it. It can be pretty challenging. And if you have a team that lets you slam spam, you will fucking die a happy person. Operator 9. I think that's a fun fight. I really like the mechanics of it. Kefis the Undying. Pretty straightforward, easy fight, but also a lot going on with like the nanos and the orbs. With the nanites and the orbs, and it's fun because you can pump DPS. We're going to put that in fun. I like that fight. Terror from Beyond. This is probably going to be my most controversial up to this point. I feel like when it comes to this boss and Styrac, there's 2 camps. Styrac is the worst boss, or Terror from Beyond is the worst boss. I don't think Terror from Beyond is the worst boss. I'm going to put it in meh. I love the art design so much where I'm going to keep that a little higher than I normally would when I think like a fight's boring. It does have fun parts, like burn can be pretty intense, especially if you hit enrage. In the first ever Starforged draft race, this was the boss that solidified our championship. So of course, this boss will always have a special place in my heart. So C, there it is. Dash Rude. Titan 6. Thrasher. Meh. I enjoy Thrasher. I don't go into Thrasher thinking, oh, this fucking fight. So, meh. Operation Chief. Olak. The fucking worst. Get me out of here. They need to add a button when you're in the droid phases where when you kill the droids, you don't have to wait 30 minutes for the little thing to go up and then you get to go to the next pack. You should have a button you can just hit and skip through. E, Cartel Warlords. I'm going to put that in fun. I enjoy that fight. Styrac. Oh boy, do I have stuff to say about Styrac. All right, how do I not spend 30 minutes talking about this one fight? Okay, I got it. If Styrac's 30-minute middle part was maybe 90% less, I would put Styrac in S tier. I really like the fight design. I love the first part with the dragon. When Styrac first comes down, I think floating between like the chain manifestations, fighting him, and then the ghost phase. It's fun how it's going back and forth, but it lasts way too fucking long. For the love of God, make that phase shorter. This fight is S tier in my opinion. The fucking worst, that's where I want to put it. I have refused to do it this expansion because now the fight is just longer and fuck it. I'm putting it in the fucking worst. Get me out of here. If you make that middle part a lot shorter, S tier. But I'm putting it in E because I have refused to do it this expansion so far. I don't want to do the fight. I think that is a deserving for an E tier. Dread Fortress, one of my favorite raids. Nephra. If this was ranking on just difficulty alone, S tier. The amount of hours I have spent in Pug Nephras is insane. I Twitch streamed the other day for 3 hours. Half of that time I was in one Nim Nephra Pug. An hour and a half I spent on Nim Nephra. An hour and a half. I'm going to put it in meh, though. It's an okay fight. For a first fight, quite a few mechanics, and people wipe a lot on this fight. Meh. Draxus, I've never been a big fan of this fight. Grobthok, I like Grobthok. It could be argued as kind of boring, very redundant, but I like the fight. Meh. Corruptor Zero, I'm also going to put in meh. Brontis. Brontis is going to be our first S tier. I love this fight. Never gets old to me. I had a blast progging it. I have an amazing time still doing the fight. It's my favorite mount in the game. It feels like a true final boss where the burn phase is no joke. It takes a lot of teamwork, a lot of coordination. There's a lot of stuff going on. Everyone has a role. I very much adore and love this fight. S tier, no question about it, in my opinion. Bestia. I'm going to put Bestia in fun. I enjoy that fight, especially if you're DPSing, just slam away. Tyrants. I'm going to put Tyrants in A tier. I thought about putting it in S tier, but I don't think it's on the same level of my enjoyment for Brontis, but I really do like the Tyrants fight. Just the idea of moving around a room, coordinating platforms, a lot of group communication. It's also just like a DPS race. I very much enjoy that fight. Calfee, I'm going to put meh. It's always just kind of been a meh fight to me. Dreadmaster Raptus. I'm going to put Raptus in It's Council, I'm going to put an A tier. I like that fight. It's fun. Fighting all four of the Dreadmasters is awesome. Then if you wipe, they laugh and talk shit. Incredible. Fun fight. Sparky. This is probably one of the boss fights I've done the least. Bolo, Torque, meh, just because it's fun to just throw DPS at them and ignore mechanics. Master Blaster, I'm going to put an A tier. Really fun fight. I like the design. I like the nod to Mad Max. Another fight that takes a lot of group coordination, and I love the voice lines between Master and Blaster. Just a fun fight. The Pirate Captains. I'm going to put it in meh. Don't hate it. Don't love it. TOS. Malifar. Meh. Sword Squadron. Meh. Underlurker. The fucking worst! Get me out of here! Holy shit! Revanite Commanders. The fucking worst! Get me out of here! Ah! It's so boring! Revan. Do I even have to say it? If you know me, if you've raided with me, you know my absolute love for Revan. The fucking best. Another one of my absolute favorite fights in the game. The whole design of the fight and the art, the voice lines, the music, it feels like a damn near perfect fight in my opinion. It feels just epic, and it has this scale to it. You fight Revan, you fight HK, you work your way up to the top floor. There's just so much going on. I love the heartbeat mechanic where you're getting pulled, you're getting pushed. And then on the third floor, you got to burn the boss while the aberrations are going off. If you don't look at them, you get flung off. And then there's a lot of responsibility on the ab caller to call them correctly for the group. I fucking love and adore this fight. S tier. Now we're getting into Gods from the Machine. This is probably my favorite raid in the game. I love it. Tithe, I like it a lot. Fun fight, crazy fight, let's go. A&E, I'm going to put it in fun. I don't like it as much as Tithe. That fight stresses me out more than any fight in that raid. It's just when we get past A&E, I'm like, oh, Nahut, ugh, man. Okay, so before I put it in A or S, I'm going to think about this. I don't think it's on the epic scale of Brontus and Revan, but I love this fight. I think it was very well designed. I think it's fun. It's challenging. A lot of group coordination. A lot of stuff going on. The burn phase is really cool. There's not a phase I really don't like. I think Nahut deserves an S tier. I love that fight. Skyva, this fight, if you would have asked me when I first started progging Gods with Mystery Inc., E. But this fight really grew on me, and I really like it now. I remember when I was learning, I just kept saying, like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on. And then Prez told me, he was like, Koosh, listen. I think his exact words were, you will have no idea what's going on in this fight until like the 10th time you kill it, and then it all just clicks. I couldn't have said it better. I love the fight now, and it just clicks. Everything fell in line. Isaacs the Destroyer. I'm going to put Isaacs in A tier. I really like that fight. I feel like you could say, well, Koosh, you fucking hate Styrac. Isaacs is a long fight. Isaacs has enough distinguished, broken up, different phases, in my opinion, and it's a fun fight. A lot of the times I'm doing Isaacs, we're at like the end of a DI run, so there's just that atmosphere of just tight technical play, a lot of group communication, so because of the spirit of that, I really like that fight. Now we're going into Nim Duxon. Red. This one's going to be tough for me. It's kind of... This is like the Nahut. I don't think it's on the same scale and as epic as Brontus and Revan, but much like Nahut, I really like the fight. Like, if you think about it, how many fights in this game do you cover that much ground? I'm talking Nimred, by the way. So it's like, you start at A, you have to go to B, to C, to D, and there's just all this shit going on. You got to get the flowers. There's a lot of navigating, a lot of group communication. If I had like an AS tier, like in between, that's probably where I would put Red. I'm going to put it in A tier because like Nahut, Revan, and Brontus, I feel like I'm just always down to do. So I'm going to put Red in A tier. I like it a lot. I think that's fair. Encounter 1 of Duxon, or Fight 2. The fucking worst, get me out of here. Fight 3, the fucking worst, get me out of here. Trandos. I'm going to put it in A. I like that fight a lot. Trandos is fun. Huntmaster. If Huntmaster worked, I would probably put it in B. I'm going to put it in meh. I like what the fight's trying to do. It's just really buggy, so meh. Apex. Oh, God. I'm going to put Apex in eh. It's a long fight where you just keep doing the same shit for, what, 15, 16 minutes? It's boring. So I'm going to put it in eh. All right, well, there you have it. The Operation Raid Boss tier list. I will find a way to share this link so others have access to it. I think that's a thing. This is my first tier list. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So overall, I feel good with this tier list. But I want to thank you so much for watching, and much love.